Hello and welcome to the Finance News Network. Joining me today from oil and gas explorer WHL Energy is its CEO and Managing Director, David Rowbottam. David, welcome to FNN.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Let's first turn to your flagship Seychelles project. WHL Energy has just announced the official signing of final documentation approving a major farm-out agreement with Ophir Energy. Can you provide us with some detail of that deal and what it means to your company?
Yes, look, last week WHL Energy was delighted to join both the Seychelles Vice President Danny Four and Ophir Energy's Commercial Manager Glenn Corrie and a number of other dignitaries at a special signing ceremony in the Seychelles capital, Victoria. That was for the signing of the revised petroleum agreement, which was regulatory approval for the transaction that was proposed with Ophir in February and March. This celebration not only formalised and documented the transfer of 75% interest in our offshore Seychelles project under the petroleum agreement, but it was also the final condition precedent for the recovery of past costs under that agreement, and those past costs amount to approximately $4 million US.
And David, how is this an endorsement of your activities over the last 2 years?
Yes, thank you again. It's been our stated aim to have a high-quality joint venture partner to join us in our exploration. It was the only way that the Seychelles acreage was going to get the true value and work program it required. So for approximately the last 3 years, we've been trying to work this through. We believe in Ophir Energy that we've found the type of partner that we've always envisaged in terms of a company that's got an aggressive exploration appetite and also both capital and technical expertise to be able to take a frontier development like this through to the next level. And that was endorsed by Ophir's belief in our prospectivity in terms of the commitment they've made at this stage under the farm-out agreement. Financially, they're looking at potentially up to a $64 million investment in a combination of seismic, drilling and past cost recovery. And that, as I said, really endorses WHL's decision over the last 2 to 3 years to work towards that type of partnership.
Could you provide us with some more background on Ophir Energy?
Yes, Ophir is a very interesting company in that most of its commercial operations are run out of London, but they've got a very large technical centre here in Perth. Ophir has been operating for about 10 years, and it is a FTSE 250 company with a market cap of about Great British pounds 1.4 billion. It's one of the most successful explorers currently in Africa, and in recent years has been very successful in East Africa, and it has had a tremendous drilling success rate of recent years also. I think people may have also heard recently that it was one of the successful companies in the recent Myanmar acreage releases. Ophir bring a lot of financial and technical strength along with a highly regarded exploration team to the project, and this is in terms of being able to be a frontier explorer. That type of aggression they've had as a frontier explorer in other environments has now got them to a stage where they're currently planning for the development of LNG projects in Tanzania and Equatorial Guinea. So they do have project execution skills that we're going to need for such a large project if we're successful in the Seychelles.
Right, and what do you anticipate will be the next step with the new Seychelles JV?
Yes, with Ophir becoming operator of the Seychelles project as of last week, along with ourselves, we're currently in the process of selecting a successful tenderer to acquire the initial 1,500 square kilometres of 3D seismic. Ophir, under the farm-out agreement, committed to fund that survey up to a total of $17 million US. In anticipation of that, WHL Energy had already started with a list of pre-qualified tenderers through an invitation to tender. So we're at the moment working through those. This is quite important as this stage of investigation will allow us to review an area of approximately 1 billion barrels of oil in prospectivity as independently assessed. And we believe that that area also contains multiple targets of greater than 200 million barrels. So it's going to be important for us to locate where we expect to drill the first well in our project area.
Now, the company has also recently announced the initial results of the Labella survey acquired off the southern coast of Australia late last year. What were the highlights?
Well, again, I'd like to say that we were very pleased with the acquisition and the results of that acquisition in terms of the 867 square kilometres of 3D seismic acquired in Vic P67, or the Labella block off the Victorian coast last December. Whilst we're still at an early stage, the data that we are starting to see now that we've got what we would term an intermediate volume is very, very encouraging in terms of some of the highlights around preliminary evaluation that we think are going to confirm the gas condensate field and adjacent exploration. We had said the big part of this project for us is the upside, and previously we had identified both the Feria and Mylius features, and this interim seismic volume is now looking to corroborate those mapped features, so it is a very exciting period for us. Critically, what we're now seeing in this data with this new level of seismic has been significant improvements in against previous information, and that has been the reason for our confidence. So it's well founded in terms of that, although we are still awaiting the final high quality seismic data to be delivered with a full broadband pre-STM processing, and we're expecting that to be delivered in late July. And at that point, we're going to be able to make, with extreme confidence, the drilling program decisions, although the planning around those have already commenced.
Now, finally, David, WHL Energy has also appointed a new non-executive director to the board. Could you tell us about the appointment?
Yes, we were pleased to announce Jeff Schrull having joined our board at WHL. Jeff's a very experienced oil and gas executive on the technical side, particularly strong with some African petroleum background, and I think he's going to be a valuable member of our team as we move forward with an expansion of our African portfolio, the further development around the Seychelles asset, and also looking to add additional projects to our portfolio here in Australia along with the development of the Labella asset.
Wonderful. David Rowbottam, thank you so much for the update on WHL Energy.
Thank you for the opportunity to share our exciting story with your listeners today. I appreciate the opportunity.